fellow viewers, this is Chanbini and you are watching GW's News Recap. First headlines. In protest against the Indo-Myanmar border fencing and the abolition of the free movement regime, the Konyak Union held a public rally in Longwa village on February 3. Lok Sabha's MP as Supongmarin Jamir, while addressing the House in ongoing Parliament session, raised concerns on the Naga political issue and poor infrastructure of the Nagaland University. The Supreme Court came down heavily on the Assam government, expressing its strongest displeasure over the state's failure to make decisions regarding the deportation of individuals declared as foreigners. The Bharatiya Janata Party is set to form its government in Delhi after a gap of more than 26 years as it won 48 of the 70 seats in the assembly election. And now the news in details. In protest against the Indo-Myanmar border fencing and abolition of the free movement regime, the Konyak Union held a public rally in Longwa village, Andamon district on February 3. The event attracted over 1,200 participants from Longwa and neighboring Konyak Naga villages, including from Myanmar. Subsequently, the Konyak Union has submitted an appeal to the governor of Nagaland, urging to move to the government of India to reconsider its decision to construct border fencing along the India-Myanmar boundary and to revoke the decision to scrap the free movement regime provision of 2018. The memorandum stated that the border demarcation between India and Myanmar has its origins in arbitrary colonial decisions, beginning with the Treaty of Yandabo in 1826, followed by modifications in 1834, 1881, 1894, 1896, 1921, 1992, and finalized at the Yangon Agreement on 10th March 1967 between Premier Zhou, Jawaharlal Nehru, and UNU. The Konyak Union asserted that if fencing is deemed necessary, it should follow the traditional boundary lines of the Konyak Naga community and not the artificial lines drawn by colonial and post-colonial authorities. Moreover, the Konyak Union vehemently objects to the scrapping of the free movement regime, which was implemented in 2018 to acknowledge the close ties between tribal communities on either side of the border. Lok Sabha's MP as Supongmarin Jamir, while addressing the House in ongoing Parliament session, raised concerns on the Naga political issue and the poor infrastructure of Nagaland University. Jamir urged the government of India to implement framework agreements that has been signed on 2015. Jamir also stated on the basic amenities and infrastructure the university is facing despite being in existence for the last 31 years. Let's have a look at Jamir's statement.
For the Northeast and has worked out to eliminate their sense of alienations. And it also said that 10th peace agreement has been served. But for that matter, for Nagaland, we have two agreements. That is agreed position, which was done in 2015, and the agreed position is 2017. The framework agreement, which was done in 2015, it is now more than 10 years. And that agreed position is almost 8 years now. But the government of India is not taking up the issues. Now it is, now in the state we have 26 factions and heavy rampant taxation is going on. The economic progress is not possible. Corruption is rampant. Now whom do we blame? Whether we have to blame the state government or we have to blame the Naga political workers or the government of India. Who is going to implement those two agreements? It is the Government of India to implement these two agreements. So we want that Government of India should come forward, and whatever the agreement has made, immediately we want the implementations. We don't want any bloodshed. The Naga people, we don't want bloodshed. So Government of India should come forward and implement that agreement. Sir, in the speech, the one identity has been mentioned, and here the diversity of the region, diversity of the language has been mentioned, but the government has failed to mention the diversity of traditions, culture, custom, religions. The Indian identity should be the secularism, but it has failed to mention. Sir, we have Nagaland University now is at 31 years old, but we are facing the infrastructures lack of the sports infrastructures, indoor stadiums, and the outdoor stadium also, and we have the hostel facilities problems, and we don't have that update laboratories facilities. So if those facilities also can be provided, and for the additional seat for the other states of India and for the minority tribes, if the Government of India can allocate some additional seats, we'll be very grateful, and that allocations of the percentage of the requirements as well as the percentage of the students also can be met as possible. Thank you, sir.
A 52-year-old man was arrested for allegedly abusing a 13-year-old girl repeatedly in Wokha, Nagaland. The accused was identified as Tamanguli. He was arrested by Wokha police on charges of repeatedly sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl. The arrest followed a complaint filed by the victim's family on February 3 after the accused allegedly committed the crime again. The victim, a student at a government school where Nguli is employed as a peon, is currently under the care of the Women's Police Station and receiving medical attention. Nguli has been charged under relevant sections of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. The Supreme Court came down heavily on the Assam government, expressing its strongest displeasure over the state's failure to make decisions regarding the deportation of individuals declared as foreigners. A two-judge bench of the Apex Court, led by Justice Abhay S. Wokha and Justice Ujjal Bhuyan, observed that once detained persons are declared foreigners, they should be deported immediately. While passing directions, the Supreme Court ordered the Assam government to initiate a process of deporting 63 individuals who were detained as foreigners to their native country. Criticizing the Assam government for not deporting foreigners, the Apex Court said that even without an address, the state can deport them. The top court was hearing a case filed by petitioner Raju Bala against the central government over the issue of deporting foreigners. While reviewing the deportation process, the Apex Court outlined how the Assam government could proceed. During the hearing, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, a senior law officer of the central government, told the court that he would consult with officials from the Union Ministry of External Affairs to find a solution since the issue was not a state subject. The Chief Secretary of Assam attended the hearing virtually. The Apex Court directed the central government to clarify how to handle stateless individuals within a month. At the same time, the court ordered Assam to improve conditions in detention centers, forming a committee to inspect facilities fortnightly. It fixed the matter for further hearing on 25th February. The Bharatiya Janata Party is set to form its government in Delhi after a gap of more than 26 years, as it won 48 of the 70 seats in the assembly election, the results of which were announced on Saturday. The Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party secured victories from 22 seats, and the Congress drew a blank for a third straight time. The last BJP government in Delhi served from 1993 to 1998, marking this win as a significant comeback for the party. Of the 70 assembly constituencies, the BJP clinched 48 seats, while AAP managed to secure only 22. This landslide victory saw several prominent AAP leaders, including Kejriwal, former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, former Minister Satyendra Jain, and Saurabh Bharadwaj, losing their constituencies. In a closely watched contest, Kejriwal lost the New Delhi Assembly seat to PJB's Parvesh Verma by a margin of 4,089 votes. Meanwhile, Congress' score remained 0 as the party failed to secure any seat. Swedish police reported multiple nationalities among the 10 victims of a mass shooting in Örebro. The gunman, identified as Rickard Andersson, took his own life. Swedish police say that there were multiple nationalities among the victims in the country's worst mass shooting that left 10 dead plus the gunman. The massacre happened in the city of Örebro, west of Stockholm, on Tuesday, February 4th, at an adult education center that reportedly ran Swedish classes for immigrants. Anna Bergqvist, who is heading the investigation, said they were still working to pin down a motive for the killing spree. The Syrian embassy expressed its condolences and sympathies to the families of the victims. That be it for this week's GW News Recap. For more news and updates, keep watching Global Window, and good night.